Those of us who've ever done any knitting know that it's almost impossible to take over someone else's work without making an obvious line of demarcation on the finished fabric. This is due to the fact that no two people knit at quite the same tension or form exactly the same kind of loops. Tension and loop formation can be adjusted very accurately on a modern hosiery machine, and the manufacturer's first object is to adjust his machine to produce a fabric which will take full advantage of the qualities of strength and elasticity inherent in this new yarn. This machine is knitting in the normal way. When the machine dips, it is shaping or fashioning the fabric to fit the wearer's leg. This is done first at the thigh, then at the calf, again around the base of the heel, and finally at the toe. Extra threads of yarn are brought in to strengthen the heel and foot. When I was here, 3 sets of experimental stockings were prepared in this way, each differing slightly from the other, and here we see them being put in colored bags for easy identification. This process is called pre-setting and is unique to stockings made from plastic yarns like nylon. Its object is to set the knitted loops into the shape given to them on the machine. It is done by means of steam at a carefully controlled temperature. When I saw this being done, I was given a highly technical talk on thermoplastics, which I cannot hope to pass on. As far as I understand it, nylon has to be in a rather limp condition when knitted, but to avoid loop distortion or creasing during subsequent stages of manufacture, it must be given added stamina as soon as possible, and in the final stage of manufacture, as we shall see later, the stockings will receive a second treatment, which finally fixes or plasticizes the nylon. It's rather like boiling an egg. If we boil an egg for 4 minutes, it remains partially liquid, although we can crack the shell without destroying the shape of the egg. If, however, we cook it for, say, 15 minutes, we produce a stable condition, that of a hard-boiled egg, which is tough and durable and impervious to further cooking. After presetting, the stocking blanks are seamed. This process, so rapidly performed, is in fact a very skilled one, for the 2 selvages must match from top to toe. Now we begin to see something which looks like a stocking. At this stage, it was brought home to me just how much difference there is between seamless hose and the full-fashion stockings in which this manufacturer specializes. The newly completed stocking is examined on this form, which not only stresses all parts of the fabric to test its strength, but also enables the examiner to check the uniformity of stitch formation. Let us follow our 3 lots of stockings on their journey through the dye house. Every new kind of yarn takes the dye in a slightly different way, and in order to produce various types of stockings within a standard range of colors, the dyer's scientific knowledge must be supplemented by a wealth of experience. After washing, the stockings are given a clear rinse, and then, when the water has been drained off, the dye bath is refilled and an accurately measured quantity of dye is added. When all the dye has been absorbed, the stockings are rinsed, after which they are run through another solution, which applies a protective anti-snag finish to them. Next, they go into this machine, called a hydro-extractor. Those of us who have been to a laundrette know all about these machines which whiz round at terrific speed and throw off surplus water. On these smooth metal leg forms, correctly proportioned for each stocking size, a final treatment is given which will ensure that the stockings retain a trim and crease-free smartness for life. And here we have the result of all this work. 3 batches of stockings made with all the skill and care and knowledge that could be put into them. This fiendish contraption, a precision-made device for the torture of nylon stockings, is capable of inflicting, under laboratory conditions, most of the strains and stresses which stockings have to withstand in wear. Here, stockings from the same experimental batch are being sent out for these tests. Shop girls and secretaries, clerks and typists, factory girls and housewives, ordinary women doing ordinary jobs, recording the number of wearings, comfort, fit, and any other things of interest. You and I judge nearly everything we buy upon whether its quality is consistent. I remember being amazed when I went round this factory, quite apart from the careful and thorough way they examined the stockings, by the amount of individual attention each one received. And this moment I remember too. And as the final stage was reached, and the prim little packs, each tightly sealed, came from the machine, I knew that I wanted to make this film. I wanted to make it because I realized how much of skill and care and craftsmanship this layer of cellophane. Beneath it lies the reason for the quiet confidence of my young friend. Beneath it rests the high reputation of those who make Aristoc, the aristocrat of stockings.